Welcome back to Horror with Nads. I'm your host, Nadia, and today I'm going to be talking about JT Mollner's Strange Darlings. I'll be giving a spoiler free review, so this entire video will be spoiler free. I was lucky enough to see an early screening of it this past week. It will be hitting theaters this coming weekend, August 22nd. But before we get into all of that, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. I do a horror news segment every Tuesday, and I do horror movie reviews, trailer breakdowns. I'm going to be moving into other things that are horror, like comics. But enough said, let's get into JT Mollner's Strange Darlings. I know it isn't true. I'm going to keep this very non-spoiler for this review, seeing that I saw it early and the public won't see it till this coming weekend. Don't want to ruin it for anyone. Don't want to be part of the problem. Now, as a film nerd, it was pretty cool. I got to see it on 35 millimeter a week ago. Having only seen, I think, one promo for this movie, I think it was a promo a few weeks ago on a Horror Tuesday episode, and I actually think I said I might have not been interested in it. I'm not 100% sure. I'll have to go back and check the tapes. But that being said, I went kind of completely blind into it. And it actually made me appreciate going into future movies, maybe with less watching trailers and just getting the premise and trusting my instincts and going in blind, because I was in for a ride. I'm going to tell you, I described the movie to my husband what I thought was going to happen, and he had seen the trailers and he's like, oh no, no. And we both were still surprised. So it stars Willa Fitzgerald as the lady and Kyle Gallner as the demon. And the story is about a twisted one night stand that spirals into a serial killer's vicious murder spree. Even going by that description, you're still going to be surprised. And again, you're in for a wild ride. Now, this is written and directed by JT Mollner. I would describe it as maybe an art house thriller, but don't let that throw you off. The story is told in 6 chapters, completely out of order. You're first introduced to the lady injured, running for her life. She comes across a house in the middle of the woods, frantically asking not an elderly, but an older couple played by Ed Bedgley Jr. and Barbara Hershey, who is the grandmother from the Insidious series, which took me a second to realize where she was from. After that, we're thrown ahead 2 chapters, and as the audience, we are piecing together how the lady and the demon met and the events that led up to the lady running for her life in the frantic opening. Now, I'll be completely honest, I didn't think I was going to like this going in. I find sometimes when films are too artsy, it comes off egotistic and doesn't really care about the audience on how they deliver the story. They just care about what's on the screen. This was far from the truth. This movie feels like a fever dream, but a fun one. Every time we jumped chapters, I was surprised more and more as the story was unveiling itself. I couldn't figure out where the movie was going, which, in my opinion, says it knows its audience is smart and can piece things together instead of laying it all out for them. Kyle Gallner gives an amazing performance. Frankly, his best scenes are when he isn't even speaking. You could just read his character through his body language. And Willa Fitzgerald has range in this that really surprised me. To be honest, I thought I was like, I'm not gonna like this character. I was really blown away by her acting ability in this. I think she will go far. The use of sound also is something I want to point out in this, is something that stood out to me. It adds effects in how the surprise by the twist I was. I love when movies add layers like this to either throw you off or enhance the experience. Really recommend going to see this in theaters. This is definitely a must for me. Like, I will rewatch this when it hits digital, and it's probably one of the best surprises I've seen so far this year for this movie. If you get a chance to see it on the big screen, highly recommend. You will not be disappointed, especially if you like thrillers. And thank you for watching along, everybody. Until then, until next time, stay spooky.